There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original, David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes. Starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app today to get free delivery on your first 3 orders, while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Canva presents your work horoscope for this week. Deadlines are in retrograde, which we all know can bring some intense energy. Our advice: fend off this forecast with Canva. Like Canva whiteboards to counter creative blocks, and Canva docs for clarity in communications. If you have any sales deals coming through, results will be in your favor with Canva presentations, manifesting many wins for you. It's a great week to love your work at canva.com.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that teaches you how to survive the things that can kill you.
Like UFOs, hitting a bear with your car. How about a drug overdose?
Oof. And the things that just make you wish you were dead.
Having to sing for your supper. Being serenaded without your consent. Having a crush on a felon. Oh. Garen.
Garrett, check.
All those letters.
Let's play the theme song.
Let's do it.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. I'm Danielle.
I'm Kristine.
Kristine, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, did you notice I'm wearing cherry earrings?
I did. They're very cute. Did your daughter make those?
She didn't make them, but I did steal them from her jewelry box.
Oh, that's good.
Did I say jewelry box? Jewelry box.
Did I tell you I recently learned that the reason why I say it wrong is because I spell it. The reason I spell it wrong is because of how I say it.
You didn't? No.
I thought it was it's jewelry.
Yeah?
And I thought it was jewelry, and that's how I always spell it.
Isn't that how it's spelled? Wait.
Jewelry. Jewelry.
Yeah, but I add an extra E.
Oh, between the L.
Yeah. Like jewelry.
Oh, got it.
Like Paschetti. Because I'm an idiot.
No. I could see that happening to you.
Well, it did.
Well, you're wearing one of my favorite sweaters today.
Ted Baxter. Ted Baxter?
So cute.
No. Ted Baker.
Ted Baker?
Ted Baxter is he Ted Knight?
Newsman.
Ted Baxter made this shirt.
It's very loud and pompous. Ted Baker.
And the earrings go really well.
Yes, I don't know where I got these earrings. Maybe my mom. My mom had this thing of whenever she liked something I was wearing, she'd say, "Did I get you that?" I was like, "No," but she may have gotten me these actually because they're a little more feminine and delicate than something I would probably buy.
We'll take a picture, but it's very bejeweled.
Yeah, I am bejeweled today.
You are bejeweled.
Did you ever do bejeweling? That seems like something you may have. No, you probably would have like taken the bejewel gun and like hit someone in the head with it. Like
I used it as a weapon.
Knocked a rhinestone into somene's forehead.
I didn't, but I do remember there were infomercials for it, right?
Yes.
But I didn't do it. No.
No, I didn't do it either. But it was very like jean jackets. People would bejewel their jean jackets.
No, I mean, I had a jean jacket with lace on it.
I do know that.
with matching jeans.
I do know that. And a horse in the background.
There was no horse.
There was a farm and
There was
a barn in
there
the
was
background.
like a fence and maybe some hay.
Yeah, and that was a backdrop.
And I also had a black leather fringe jacket.
Of course you did.
Obviously.
Black with lace.
I embodied that song. I had all of it.
So today is Valentine's Day, and I don't know. Oh, because we get emails from the school. You get like 5,000 emails a day, and it was talking about these serenades that you can do. So I asked Oliver about that. I had forgotten. He told me last year, but I forgot. I said, "So what are these serenades? Like, did you buy a serenade?" I was joking. I knew he didn't buy a serenade. But you can like have someone go and play music for a boy or a girl that you have a crush on or you're dating or whatever. And I said, "So what is it? Just like, because it's part of the school is a performing arts school." So I said, "Oh, is it like they have singers come?" And he goes,
Yes.
"No, Mom, it's mariachi." And I was like, "Oh,
whoa!"
Right. So all day long for the last 3 days leading up to Valentine's Day, and then today, I guess, the mariachi quartet or whatever it is from school comes in and will sing and will play a song for that person.
They're also students.
And they're also
it's
students.
not grown
No.
men from like a restaurant.
No. Right, because that's what I thought. I was like,
Yes.
well, how do they so they just miss school? He goes, but then if two people in the same class get one, like you think they're going to leave and then they stop and they play again. I just thought that was so funny.
That's really cool.
Are they going out to the PE field? They're going out to the... But yeah, he said every single time the person is humiliated. The person who's being sung at is uncomfortable every single time. But it was cute. I saw some boys going into school with flowers today. It was really cute. Not a lot, but a few.
That's really sweet. I'm just glad we don't have to do the Valentines for all the students anymore.
Now grade school,
because now they're in like more in the upper elementary grades, being in fifth.
Oh, they don't do it in fifth?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm so happy.
But you do it for every single kid, right? You don't.
Yes. But it was always me having to, corral them into signing their Valentines. And Alex was pretty good about it. She'd want to make homemade Valentines.
Oh.
But, Benjamin would sign like 3 and then be like, I'm done.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to tell you about a truck I saw this morning.
Oh, okay.
On the drive here. Big, beautiful new truck.
Yeah.
Like a Ford F-150 or like a Chevy Bravo.
I'm going to pretend I know what any of those things are.
I don't even know. I just made that
The
up.
Chevy Bravo has Andy Cohen writing in the passenger side.
It's a Real Housewives franchise truck. And it was, it had to be a new truck. It was, black and big tires, maybe even had the extra big tires.
Right.
Probably had the extra pipe on the back to put more pollution into the air.
Yes.
And it had a personalized plate.
Okay.
Sex truck.
Wow, that's the subtlest pussy wagon.
Yeah. And I couldn't stop thinking about how that's like a lot to promise. Right? You're like really putting it out there.
You're going to have sex in the truck?
Well, here's what I
think. The truck is going to be so alluring that you'll have sex with the driver?
I guess he's saying like, here's where it happens.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
This is where the magic happens.
But I was like, is it
flatbed.
Like, are you going to take me out, to the hills and, there's a nice mattress in the back, like a Casper. It's got to be a good mattress and the nice quilts.
Ew. I don't want to.
And then the stars, like maybe that's better. But
I don't know. For some reason, I was just imagining a mattress without any bedding.
Oh, no.
It's in the back of a truck, and I got real sad.
No, not a stained. You don't want some stained mattress.
With matching sheets.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
All right.
So then I guess. And there's like maybe some, I don't know, like the Chicks is playing,
Yeah.
Some nice music. Champagne or a nice cocktail.
Okay.
Boone's Farm, probably more likely.
But
champagne spelled P-A-N-E.
Yes. P-A-I-N. Bring in the pain. But like, what if he means in the cab?
Ugh.
Because then, you're getting your head banged around.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That doesn't sound nice.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had sex in a car.
What? You don't know? Oh my God, I had so much sex
because
in a car.
I think I had sex adjacent in a car. Not actual sex.
That's where I lost my virginity.
Oh, Jesus. It gets just getting more and more. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, because you were a proper age. I was already like older when I had sex. So it's like people had...
A bed was available.
Yes. I wasn't, living at home.
I mean,
that makes sense.
If you're a teenager, it's perfectly
of course.
fine.
What else are you going to do?
No, it's the only option.
Well, sex truck.
Sex truck.
TM.
I just saw a truck with like a beautifully painted silkscreen or not silkscreen, whatever it is, of Batman, and I thought that's what you were going to say. Like,
we saw the same truck.
Yeah.
I mean, it could also be a sex truck. Just 'cause
I know.
Batman's-
I think I'd rather be in the Batman truck, honestly, than
the sex truck? Yeah.
Well,
I'd be a little scared in the
yeah.
sex truck. Hey, I watched, the show last night.
Poker Face.
Yes, thank you. It's funny that I couldn't remember the name of it because
watched it
one of her
too.
qualities is that she couldn't remember things,
Bullshit.
which I liked.
Yeah. That she can't remember things?
Yeah, she was like, can't remember the name of something.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
definitely
the
related
locker,
to that.
the evidence locker.
Yeah, she couldn't remember the name of like
yeah,
the word
yeah,
locker.
yeah.
I love her.
I went from having zero opinion about Natasha Lyonne to now I just want to be her. She's just so great. So you just watched the first episode?
Just watch the first episode,
Okay.
yes.
And did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It gets very, as Jimmy said, it's like I don't know if you remember the Hulk, the show, the Hulk from the 70s.
Barely. I know
Like,
it was a show.
He goes from town to town.
Yes.
Like, and that's basically what she does. It's really good. It's really, really fun.
It is fun.
I liked it too. I watched the first episode yesterday.
Oh, we were doing the
That
same
was
thing
weird.
yesterday.
Yeah, wild.
We're so
Synchronicity.
connected.
You guys are. Should we get into today's topic?
I'm ready to find out what it is.
All right. Are you ready to learn how to survive a drug overdose?
Please.
Okay. Going to give you a little factoids here. First, okay, the National Institute on Drug Abuse. This is from them. You know their work.
I study them so much.
More than 106,000 persons in the U.S. died from drug-involved overdose in 2021, including illicit drugs and prescription opioids.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it really is. And it's all in your neck of the woods, I think.
Oh, that's not surprising.
No, I'm just teasing. Overall drug, and by your neck of the woods, I mean Van Nuys.
Oh,
No, I meant Michigan.
I
But,
had multiple necks of woods that would fall into.
You're right. Okay, so I got this from the British Columbia Emergency Health Services.
Okay.
So if I start pronouncing my O's weird,
We'll know why.
It's just because it's Canadian, but it basically, I think it all, translates. So they want you to remember the Save Me steps.
Save me steps.
If you encounter someone overdosing.
Okay.
S is for stimulate. It like get in the sex truck.
Tickle
See if that'll
them.
wake up. If you suspect someone might be having an opioid, first we're talking about opioids.
Okay.
Because that's
Most likely.
really what's causing the problems
Okay.
right now. Overdose. Start by stimulating them to confirm that they are unresponsive. Shout at them. Use their name if you know it. Next, do a trapezius squeeze. You remember trapezius squeeze?
That's gymnastics, right?
Yes. Or pinch the webbing between. Whoa, sorry. A trapezius squeeze is squeezing in the nail bed of the finger, which I never.
That would never make me think.
You would think it was your trapezoids, right?
Wherever those are.
in your back somewhere, or pinch the webbing between their thumb and fingers to see if they respond to pain. Always tell someone what you're going to do before you touch them.
I'm going to tickle you.
I mean, they're dying of an overdose. I don't think there's going to be a consent issue here, but okay. If the person does not respond to sound or pain, then it is a medical emergency. Okay. Call 911. If you are alone, you can put the phone on speaker. Remember, you will not get in trouble if you call 911 for a suspected overdose.
Okay.
Which I think is very important. The call taker will ask for your location, your phone number, and what the problem is. Okay, did I miss? Oh yeah, we're up to A in Save Me. Okay. Airway. Check the person's mouth for any obstructions. Items like gum, dentures, or a syringe cap could be preventing them from breathing properly. But you wouldn't think of this. I think this is really smart.
No, it is.
Remove any obstructions. Once you've confirmed the mouth is clear, tilt their head back. This opens their airway.
Okay.
Okay, the V, ventilate. Remember, we're spelling out save me.
I got it.
No extra O's or anything. Or
It's not like jewelry.
Oh, God. The next step is to breathe for the person. Breaths are crucial to the overdose response. They keep the brain alive. Ventilation is the best way to reduce the risk of irreversible brain injury.
Okay.
Keep the person's head tilted back, pinch their nose, and give them 2 breaths. You should be able to see their chest rise with each breath.
So I'm putting my mouth on their mouth.
No, you are... Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
So with the drug overdose, it's not like the compressions where we're pressing without the breath. We want to give them breath.
I have to double check that because I think that might come up. But because I've heard, ever since you mentioned that, I've heard it discussed elsewhere. So I don't remember if it's what I heard or what I read. But right now we're just going to...
V-ventilate.
V-ventilate.
2 breaths.
Yes. Continue to give 1 breath every 5 seconds until the person is breathing on their own or first responders arrive.
Okay.
Remember, you called 911.
I did, and I'm not going to get in trouble for it.
Even though call is not in Save Me.
Okay.
So you just have to remember that part. If you are responding by yourself and do not have naloxone, we'll get into that in a second, or you do not feel confident about administering naloxone, breaths are more important.
Okay.
Okay, what is naloxone? You may know it as Narcan.
I've heard of
the
it.
brand name. Okay. Naloxone is a medication that quickly reverses the effects of an overdose from opioids such as heroin, methadone, fentanyl, and morphine. It's kind of like a miracle.
Yeah.
It's really crazy impressive. In fact, in all 50 states, residents can purchase Narcan nasal spray directly from a pharmacist under a naloxone access law.
Really?
Yes.
Without a prescription?
Yes.
That's amazing.
There are different access rules by state,
Okay.
which you can look up at narcan.com and then /hashtag how to get Narcan with dashes in between those words. But federally it is a law. So I don't know exactly what the differences are. Maybe it's like how many you can buy, or I'm just guessing. Okay, but it's also really, really important to remember that Narcan doesn't treat the underlying problem. So you might still have, it's not like you now don't have an addiction.
Right.
It's just saving you in that moment.
It's to save a person's life.
So it's a miracle drug, but it also is.
It doesn't cure addiction.
It's not curing. Addiction
it
is
saves a
so
person's,
complicated. Right.
I got it.
Some people may not be comfortable giving rescue breaths. In that case, call takers can also coach 911 callers through providing chest compressions. So that's to answer your question. You could just do the chest compressions.
Okay.
We're up to E, evaluate.
Okay.
Has the person responded to your breaths? If they are still unresponsive, continue the rescue breathing, 1 breath every 5 seconds. Now is the time to give naloxone. If you have it, if there is anyone with you, have them prepare the kit. Now, some brands come in a kit, but the Narcan is just, I believe it's just a spray, and you don't have to prepare anything.
Okay.
This other stuff, it seems kind of complicated, so
It's
I can
like
understand.
COVID tests where each one, you're
yeah,
like,
it's-
okay,
it's-
let me get out this
right.
giant paper
Yes.
and see what I have to do.
Oh, that one's in French because we're in Canada. I gotta flip it over. Québécois. If you do not have naloxone, or if you are alone and can't prepare the kit, keep providing breaths until the first responders arrive.
Okay.
M, we're at the M in me, muscular injections. So that's if you have the kit, but you don't have to do that if you have the American version, I guess, or at least the brand Narcan. Evaluate. Monitor the person to see if they respond to the Narcan. Do they start breathing again? Do they regain consciousness? If not, keep giving 1 breath every 5 seconds. If they have not regained consciousness after 3 to 5 minutes, which is approximately 40 breaths, you can give a second dose of the Narcan.
And when you say muscular injection, does that mean you're injecting it into one of their muscles?
Yes.
Any muscle?
Well, I don't know. I guess you would just find a leg.
Probably
those
like
are the
the
big
thigh
muscles.
muscle?
Yeah. Not the trapezius.
Well, I don't even know where that is.
That's on your nail bed. Monitor the person after each dose is given for 3 minutes before giving additional doses. Okay. Naloxone is a safe medication, but people who are dependent on opioids may experience unpleasant withdrawal symptoms. like pain, sweating, agitation, and irritability. For this reason, it is important to give the lowest dose of naloxone required to reverse the overdose.
Okay.
Naloxone can take 3 to 5 minutes to work, so waiting 5 minutes between doses is important. Okay, so that was about fentanyl. We just, it's just every day there's a new person who's, thousands, I guess, of new people dying of fentanyl and other opioid overdoses. Now we're going to talk about alcohol.
Okay.
Because you could also have, it's alcohol poisoning, but
it
it's
also
basically
kills
an
people.
overdose. Yeah. Alcohol poisoning is a serious and sometimes deadly consequence of drinking large amounts of alcohol in a short period of time. Garen,
Oh, no.
we know, don't get all boozy and start watching video games or whatever it is you do.
We know your life.
You don't watch video games, right? You play video games. Some people watch them. Some
Yes.
young people watch
My
them.
kid,
That's a thing.
Benjamin.
I don't get it.
He will watch
Twitch. That's
other
what Twitch
people
is.
play video games. Yes.
I'll keep to 1 or 2 Mike's Hard Lemonades.
Oh, is that what you drink?
Black cherry.
It's like the Zima of 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
For middle-aged guys that don't really drink, that's what does it.
That's cute. Chris gave me some really lovely wine for my birthday, and I've been drinking it, and it doesn't give me any bad side effects of drinking. It does make me extremely tired.
Okay.
I felt like such a drunk uncle because I was with my son, or drunk mom, I guess is what it would be. And we were watching something, and I just completely fell asleep. Mommy's had too much to drink. It's like an ounce.
She had a thimble.
I did. And I lapped it up like a little
Like a
hummingbird. Yeah. I'm like, oh, clonk.
Good night.
Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. Alcohol poisoning can occur when adults or children accidentally or intentionally drink household products that contain alcohol. We sort of talked about that in the poisoning episode, I believe.
Yeah.
A person with alcohol poisoning needs immediate medical attention. If you suspect someone has alcohol poisoning, call for emergency and medical help right away. Here are some symptoms. Alcohol poisoning signs and symptoms include confusion, vomiting, seizures, slow breathing, less than 8 breaths a minute.
Ooh.
Seems pretty slow.
It does seem slow.
Irregular breathing, a gap of more than 10 seconds between breaths. Blue-tinged skin or pale skin. Blue-tinged skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's scary.
That is very scary. Low body temperature, which is hypothermia, and passing out, unconsciousness, and can't be reawakened. When to see a doctor. It's not necessary to have all the above signs or symptoms before you... I mean, if my skin is turning blue, that's the only sign I need.
No. I think you get yourself to the ER.
Yeah.
Stat.
Before you seek medical help. A person with alcohol poisoning who is unconscious or can't be awakened is at risk of dying. Alcohol poisoning is an emergency. If you suspect that someone has alcohol poisoning, even if you don't see the classic signs and symptoms, seek immediate medical care. Here's what to do. Call 911 or your local emergency number immediately. Never assume the person will sleep off alcohol poisoning. I think this is probably tricky because a lot of times someone gets drunk and they
pass
sleep it
out.
off. So, how do you tell?
I don't know.
So, err on the side of caution is basically
Yeah.
what they're saying.
I mean, I'm always a little bit astounded by adults who still, drink to the point of passing out.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, they could die.
Yeah.
So shouldn't we do something about this?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess, yeah, that's what they're saying.
You should. They're saying
You should.
That is a medical
You
emergency.
think Oliver should have brought me to the doctor?
Well, I don't think you. I think you just fell
I
asleep.
got tired. What is the difference between falling asleep and losing consciousness? You can't be reawakened.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's a different. I think it's different in your brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Oliver just suddenly learns how to drive. It's like in movies. Just okay. Be prepared to provide information. If you know, be sure to tell hospital or emergency personnel the kind and amount of alcohol the person drank. So, Mike's Hard Lemonade in your case.
2.
Moscow Mules in your case.
A half.
3 ounces of wine in my case. Don't leave an unconscious person alone. Because alcohol poisoning affects the way the gag reflex works, someone with alcohol poisoning may choke on his or her own vomit and not be able to breathe. While waiting for help, don't try to make the person vomit because he or she could choke.
Oh.
Which I never would have thought. I thought, get rid of the alcohol.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it has an effect on your gag reflex. Help a person who is vomiting. Try to keep him or her sitting up. If the person must lie down, make sure to turn his or her head to the side. This helps prevent choking. Try to keep the person awake to prevent loss of consciousness. Don't be afraid to get help. It can be difficult to decide, here we go, if you think someone is drunk enough to warrant medical intervention. But it's best to err on the side of caution. You may worry about the consequences for yourself or your friend or loved one, particularly if you're underage. Don't be afraid to get help. It can be difficult to decide if you think someone is drunk enough to warrant medical intervention, but it's best to err on the side of caution. You may worry about the consequences for yourself or your friend or loved one, particularly if you're underage, but the consequences of not getting the right help in time can be far more serious. Mm-hmm. Okay, you ready for a story?
I'm so ready. Nervous. I'm nervous.
Yeah, because it's not pretty, but it's okay.
Can you make it pretty?
Last September, Ryan Kristine and his then 16-year-old daughter.
Okay. Last September, Ryan Kristine found his then 16-year-old daughter barely breathing in their home near Boulder, Colorado. Little did he know at the time, but his daughter was suffering from an overdose. She had taken half of a Percocet pill given to her by her then boyfriend, not knowing that it was laced with fentanyl. A synthetic opioid used to treat severe pain and is up to, I had no idea, 50 times more powerful than heroin. 50 times. I'm bored in my room, said Sophia Kristine, who said she had found some powder substance. I crushed it up, took a line, felt kind of sparkly for 2 seconds, and then I woke up in the hospital. Ryan Kristine said he had known that his daughter smoked a little weed occasionally, but had no idea that the sophomore had actually been secretly experimenting with a long list of drugs. Cocaine, Xanax, ketamine once, acid, shrooms, Adderall, says Sophia Kristine. So just pills. Clearly it wasn't just pills. No. She just said she was doing all these other things. Just like everything I could get my hands on.
Oh my God. This is coming.
I know. It's really upsetting. During that year, she was suspended from school and her grades fell. I felt stupid that I should have known, said Ryan Kristine. I just didn't think she was doing that. Sergeant David Cohen of the Lafayette, Colorado Police Department was in the vicinity when the frantic 911 call came in from Sophia Kristine's father. Cohen arrived on the scene in minutes and started chest compressions. He quickly administered Narcan to an unconscious and barely breathing Sophia Kristine. Within seconds, she began gasping for air. According to Cohen, she was taken to the hospital but was released only hours later. Cohen said he used his training and experience to recognize the situation. I don't know if it ever became clear to me until I administered Narcan, and it worked, said Cohen, who said he also noticed miscellaneous drug paraphernalia in the bedroom. On that day, Sophia Kristine survived. Others who have experienced fentanyl-linked drug overdoses have not been as lucky. I get daily reports of suspected individuals who have passed away as a result of fentanyl overdoses, said Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin. Deaths linked to synthetic opioids like fentanyl have nearly doubled over the past 2 years, according to data released by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Additional CDC data revealed that of more than 100,000 people who died from drug overdoses in a 12-month period ending in October 2021, nearly 2/3 of those deaths are linked to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Fentanyl is cheap to produce and extremely potent, so it is sometimes mixed into other illicit drugs, heroin, meth, and cocaine, and other pain pills like Percocet, Xanax, Vicodin, and Oxycontin, and can create a lethal combination, according to Pazin. Okay, I'm going to reveal my idiocy at this point, or naivete, or whatever. I don't understand why people mix. In other words, it's not like the buyer knows, the seller is mixing it, right? Okay. So that's just to make them more addicted?
So the seller's motivation is that it's cheap. So it's so cheap, right?
Yeah.
So they can get more out there and make more money. So if you cut fentanyl, it's like cutting your cocaine. So like if you're selling Percocet or Vicodin or
but you can't afford
the you're selling opioids to the public.
Yeah.
And you want to make more profit. You want to cut it with something cheaper to increase your profit margin. The fentanyl's super cheap to produce. You cut it with fentanyl, your profits increase. So for the drug dealer,
but your profits don't increase because all your buyers die.
Good point. But maybe it still makes you more profit even if you get a 20% death rate. It's bad.
Crazy.
It's really awful.
For Sophia Christoph, she said that buying drugs is this I had no idea. This is going to scare all parents out there, but just you need to know. For Sophia Christoph, she said that buying drugs is as easy as sending the right emoji to a plug, which is a drug dealer who often finds customers on apps like Snapchat.
Yeah.
Did you know about that?
I only knew because I had heard on a different podcast or maybe on NPR that a mom was trying to maybe sue TikTok because her son, who was 14, had arranged his drug deal through TikTok and then had died from a fentanyl-laced pill.
Okay. I'm looking for a little plug emoji or like a fire emoji or you're just whatever emoji the normal dealers have, said Christoph. If you know where to go, it's really easy, she added. The use of emojis to connect with drug dealers is not unique to Colorado, but now so common across the country that U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency released a cheat sheet for parents and guardians to raise awareness of the emojis commonly used to buy drugs on social media. On April 1st, so if you go to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency site, I'm guessing you can find the cheat sheet there.
We'll put it in the newsletter, too.
Okay. On April 1st, Snapchat issued a statement that detailed their efforts to flush out drug-related content and announced steps to curb illegal activity, saying they have zero tolerance for the promotion of illegal drugs on its platform. Sophia Christoph said she carries the weight of her near-death experience every day. I'm the one that came back. Like, why me? So I'm just trying to have the mindset that I'm here, and I was a lucky one, and I got to make it worth it, said Christoph. Sophia Christoph is now enjoying her junior year of high school and said she's looking forward to being back on the field with her softball team next season. Her father is now on a mission to educate other teens and parents on the dangers of drug use and carries Narcan wherever he goes. I mean, can you imagine? I would want people to see that it can happen to even someone like Sophia, to even their daughter, to even their son, he said. Even to people who think that it is the least likely to happen to, it can happen. Last month, Ryan Christoph and his now 17-year-old daughter visited the Lafayette Police Department to meet Sergeant David Cohen again, 6 months after his quick action saved a life. After both giving him giant hugs of gratitude, Ryan Christoph gave the officer a framed picture of his daughter saying, "That's her celebrating her birthday, which she was only able to experience because of you."
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
Jesus. I'm sorry. I know that was super heavy.
No, I think it's important for people to know. I mean, I think it's really powerful, and you know, we have two sort of a terrible perfect storm of like young people experiencing a huge mental health crisis right now that's not showing signs of slowing.
Yeah.
And this influx of all of these easily available drugs.
Right.
And it's
and increasingly easy ways to get them, apparently.
Exactly. So I think it's the information is powerful for people to have so that we don't have to be, have blinders on about it as parents.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just so scary.
It is scary, but it's good to know because at least if we know it, we can take some kind of steps and not feel like, we're blindsided to the information.
I also highly recommend it, not just because Michael Keaton stars in it, but I do highly recommend Dope Sick, the miniseries. Did you watch it?
I read the book.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. That's right.
Yeah.
Or read the book.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. I just thought the series was done very well and opened me up to the sort of start of OxyContin and the fucking nightmare it has led to in our just this corporation just pushing this thing that just
with no regard to people's safety and how it affects the poor communities the hardest.
They knew and it was terrible. But anyway, I do recommend it. It's really good. It's really I forget, did you watch it?
I have not watched it. It's on Hulu, right?
Yes, it was. It is
I still want to watch it even though I read the book because I think it looks really good too.
Yeah, it was done very well, I thought.
And there's a book I recently read that also delves into the opioid crisis really well. That's fiction called Demon Copperhead, which I told you about. And it's a sort of retelling of David Copperfield in modern day times. It's a very big book, but if you're a reader and you like epic stories.
I'm just laughing because when we went on our trip, Chris showed me her Kindle, which is about, I don't know, the 1.5 times the size of a phone. It's pretty small. And she refuses to wear glasses to read. So
just on my Kindle.
Just on your Kindle. So the words are so fucking big that it's like it looks like a chalkboard from the 1800s. Like there's 4 words, right?
Yeah,
like
there's
how
like
they
4
used to
words
do,
on a
there's
page.
like 4 words on a page. It's hysterical. Like you're gonna get carpal tunnel just from swiping the pages because it's
I just swipe.
It's so funny.
I just don't like to like when I'm laying on my pillow reading at night, I don't like the glasses to push against my head.
Yes.
Because it really bothers me. So I just make the font really big because
So
I
funny.
really am going blind.
Sometimes I like to turn on my side to read, and I can't because my glasses
That's how I
smush
read.
on my head. I know.
like to lay on my side. So it's just giant font on my Kindle. What else?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else. I just keep expecting a mariachi band to come in here and play us a love song.
God, wouldn't that be nice?
And then they leave. And then you hear it down the hall. He says you just hear it down the hall all day. I don't know why. It just tickles me. It just seems like not the most romantic thing in the world to have
A mariachi
horns
band, feels
blasting in your face.
Whenever I've been at a Mexican restaurant and there's somebody coming around, I'm always like, please don't come to my table. Please don't come to my table. And if they do, and I'm just like smiling really big and thinking, I can't wait until you're gone.
Yeah.
And even if they're really good, it's just that kind of attention makes me so uncomfortable.
Well, there's no way to properly react to someone playing music at you in your face. There just isn't.
Not comfortably.
I didn't date very much in high school, just like very, very little. But there was a boy who had a crush on me. It was not reciprocal. And he sang, I don't know how this happened, but we were by ourselves in a room at school, like during lunch or something. And he sang me a song he wrote on the guitar.
Oh, no.
And also, Danielle does not work well in a song. So it's like, Danielle. And then it just went on from there. And I just blindness. I just had like ear and eye blindness.
Can you remember any of the words?
No, that's all I remember because it was so clunky.
Oh, man.
And him just like strumming the guitar. Yeah, that was pretty brave of him, actually.
I know. I want to hear. I mean, is there any way we could get him on the show?
Oh, God, probably, but I'm not going to do that.
I really want to know that song. I mean, I want to hear his side of it.
I don't think he's going to remember. Oh, that's a good...
He definitely remembers.
I don't know. We will. I guess all of us
We're coming back.
Right
all
back
of us are coming
with
back.
our guests. Goodbye.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. That's what you'll feel with Boll & Branch's best-selling signature sheets in 100% organic cotton. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Start getting your best night's sleep in sheets that get softer and softer for years to come. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off with your first order at bollandbranch.com, code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Welcome back to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. Danielle.
Kristine.
I don't think I mentioned, I think your makeup looks really good today.
Oh, thank you.
You're looking very pretty.
Really?
You look good in pink.
Wow, do I? Thanks.
I love you in color.
I was just doing my makeup while my son and I are rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the mornings.
That sounds like a nice way to
It's
spend.
so fucking good.
I don't know it.
You never watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
You know what? I'm waiting to just watch it with the kids. With any
they'll love
sitcoms
it.
I've missed at this point, I'm like,
start
just
now.
watch it with the kids.
They'll love it.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's very silly and fun. And, Andy Samberg is pretty stinking adorable on it. And they're all good. They're all really good.
Sold.
Yeah, sold. Okay. Well, on the first half of our show, we talked about how to survive a drug overdose.
Laugh riot.
I know. I apologize. Sometimes it's hard to walk the line on this show. But now...
I think we did have some laughs amid the scary Narcan fentanyl death stuff. I think we did manage to laugh a little.
You're right. Okay. But now we're going to discuss how to survive being accused of basically running in an international drug ring, something like that, with our very special guest, Rebecca Metz, who you might know from Better Things.
One of my favorite shows of all
Yes.
time. I'm fangirling out over here
Look,
because
she has it on her water bottle.
I think one of the best shows on television, and you're amazing on it.
And Shameless. And your kids might know Coop and Cammie Ask the World.
My kids know it.
And your kids know it.
They do it. They do it.
They ask the world? They ask the world of you.
If I'm the world, yes.
So Rebecca Metz, thank you for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate your subtle heart on your sweater for
thank you.
Valentine's Day.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that.
You didn't?
No, not at all. I'm not usually a person who would wear hearts, but this one is like understated. It's not,
No, it's very cute.
It's not in your face.
It's not in your face.
Mm-mm.
Thank you. Complete accident.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am admiring your water bottle because you've put just a bunch of cool stickers on it. But in addition to Better Things and Nope, 2020, we have Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, and because I saw Beaker and I got excited about that, but also the Dr. Teeth one.
I'm a Muppet freak.
Me too.
Clue?
Yes.
Any Clue fans in the room? Really?
Karen is. So that's
hands down.
Run Down the Hall.
Favorite
I love it.
Movie of all time. I put stickers on because
Wait, have you seen it recently?
I've seen it about 150 times, probably last week.
Get it.
I don't understand how that's
It's
possible.
not funny. I don't get it.
So
it's full of fantastic actors.
Here's the thing. It's like a farce, like a theatrical farce,
Yes.
like something you
like
would see
Noises
in
Off.
theater.
Don't
like Noises
pretend I
Off.
don't know what a farce is.
No, listen, I totally
Company
believe
is a
you.
farce.
And maybe it's not your thing. It's so my thing. And I've learned that I have a thing for gothic, pretty much anything. Gothic horror, gothic mystery, gothic,
Gothic.
anything with a big, gorgeous house, a big, gorgeous old house.
Okay, yeah.
With creaky doors and weird passages. And that is the whole thing of it.
Okay.
I love all those actors. I just think it's hilarious.
It's your jam.
Boy, it just didn't hit me that way. And I've been arguing with him for this, with Garen, because Garen loves it.
Listen, people can like different things.
I know. Yes.
I don't like really any Quentin Tarantino movies. And it took me a long time because I was dating nerdy drama guys in the 90s.
Oh, for God's sake.
Forget about it.
You couldn't say that.
I don't really like Quentin Tarantino films either.
And
it's okay.
I mean, they're not for us.
No.
In their, conception, their execution,
They're very
any
male.
part of the,
Yeah.
and there are women who like them, and it's totally fine. And I'm not slamming you. I'm just saying, we all like different things, and that's okay. I went to see Sleep No More. Did any of you see Sleep No More in New York City?
No,
I don't know what that is.
It was. Oh boy, I'm not going to describe it the way they want to describe it. It was
That's
like
okay. We won't tell.
Theatrical experience. It was it might still be there in the meatpacking district, and it was not a play exactly. I believe it was a dance company that took over kind of an old industrial building, multiple floors, and converted it into this. Was it Hamlet? No, it was
Macbeth.
Yeah, it was Macbeth. I'm afraid to say that word.
Okay.
Oh, just say the Scottish thing. That's what my mother always said.
I just don't. But oh God, it's such a dorky thing to. But
My mother was a total theater dork.
But everyone in the audience, it's fully interactive. You explore the space. Everyone in the audience wears these weird commedia masks.
Oh,
they throw you in an elevator and throw you out on different floors.
Okay.
My husband had terrible vision and couldn't see anything, so he just got mad and like went downstairs and waited in the bar. So it's Macbeth, but there's like too much stuff for it to just be Macbeth, and so they filled the rest of the spaces and characters out with people from Rebecca, with story elements and characters from Rebecca. And as is my nature, whenever I saw one of the actors in Macbeth, I ran in the other direction because there would be like 45 people chasing them, and I'd be like, fuck that, I'm going over here, to like rifle through drawers and I found this guy who was like embodying some character from Rebecca, some priest.
Yes.
He like pulled me into a room. This sounds really like a bad idea, but at the time it felt totally safe. We had
he's a priest.
Silent. Exactly.
Yeah,
what could go
happen?
wrong? Oh my God, it was amazing. I think at the end they like corral everyone down to watch the final scene. But for the most part, I completely avoided the play and just like immersed myself in all of this Rebecca atmosphere and like set deck and all of this stuff.
That's really cool.
Letters around from this. It was really cool.
I just find it extremely bizarre that they would combine those two things. First of all, Macbeth is pretty full of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd have to add something else, but if you did, wouldn't you add Shakespeare? I don't understand.
I'm glad because it was like I need a rest.
But maybe just Rebecca would have been cool.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I would do that.
Yeah,
that would be enough for me.
So was it like Tina and Tony's wedding? Tony and Tina's wedding? Were they like in your face doing Shakespeare?
No, you were kind of well, I've never seen Tony and Tina's wedding because
I haven't either, but I can imagine.
Like really not my thing. But
yeah,
it wasn't interactive in that they interacted with you.
They didn't.
The play is just happening all around this space, and you are like chasing them, and they just set you free in this crazy building.
Okay.
There was a room full of straitjackets, and I started to put one on, and I got in trouble. And I was like, "Well, you told me I could do whatever I wanted with this stuff." There was like a graveyard, and there was it was. I loved it. My husband hated it.
Is your husband not a theater person?
No, he has a master's in dramaturgy. Like he's not anymore a theater person, but like he really just couldn't see.
Wait, what? Did he not have his glasses? I don't understand.
It was dark. It was real dark, and I don't know. He had cataracts.
Oh Jesus.
And I think we probably didn't know it at the time.
So he actually couldn't see.
He really couldn't.
I could see that being really unsettling.
Yes. A lot of the spaces were very dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's awful.
there were like graves and stuff on the ground. So it wasn't just like walking through a room. And in general, weirdly, I tend to like more experimental theater. Like we went to see the Tom Waits, Robert Wilson, Black Rider at the Taper or the Ahmanson, wherever it was, and early in our relationship, and I loved it, and he was miserable. So we just have different tastes.
So, what does he think about Clue?
He would never tell me if he doesn't like it as much as I do, but that's almost not possible.
Right.
You're a super fan.
I'm a super fan.
You are the #1 Clue fan, and you are the president of their Clue
Maybe
fan
tied
club.
with Garen. But like it's
And Garen and Rebecca used to work together.
True.
We haven't even talked about that.
We haven't.
Yeah, the good old days of that company.
Yeah.
That exists.
I'll say it. I day jobbed at the Walt Disney Company for 11 years, and then they hired me as an actor and had to be nice to me.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing.
Ooh, that was satisfying.
Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, so let's get into your story.
Yeah. So, okay, I first want to acknowledge that this story is teeming with white privilege, some of which I was aware of at the time, much of which I was not. So really, like the headline of this is how to survive getting your car impounded at the international border for drug trafficking is to be a cute white college girl.
Oh, okay. That's
best
helpful.
advice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But barring that, and I actually wasn't there, so that's not entirely what happened. So between my junior and senior years of college, I got a job. I was in drama school. And I needed to find some way to make some money during the summer. And there was like a box of flyers of people who recruited like student actors, theater companies and whoever in the drama office. And I looked and one of them was a picture of the Rocky Mountains, and it was like, do you want to something? Like, yeah, that sounds great. And my best friend, now she's my best friend. At the time, she was my classmate. We didn't like each other.
Oh.
And I have different accounts of how we ended up doing this together.
Okay.
But
we'll bring her in next week.
Exactly. I'm here, so I get to say I stuck my head out the office window, and she was at the call board before the internet. If you wanted to tell someone something, you had to pin it to a place where they would walk to see it.
I went to that kind of college.
Yes. And I was like, hey, what are you doing this summer? Do you want to go work in Montana? She was like, okay. And we got jobs working in a national park lodge in Glacier National Park in Montana.
Wow. That sounds really cool.
Right. Yeah. Working in the restaurant and singing in the country western cabaret.
Oh, that's what the flyer was for.
That's what the flyer was for.
You could work in the... Oh, how fun.
They were recruiting people to be in their little show.
Wait, was it dinner theater?
No, it was basement theater. It was just something to occupy the people who stayed in the lodge. It was just a...
Oh, I get it. Okay, got it.
At the time, let's just call it late 90s, all of these national parks, in Glacier anyway, but I think more than that. Now I think they're a company called Xanterra, or they were, but they were all owned by the Dial Corporation, the soap people.
Okay. Wow.
It was basically a tax write-off.
Oh, okay.
We made no money because they charged us for room and board.
What?
And so... And it was, when you worked in the restaurant, you got paid less than minimum wage because they figured you were making tips. So I ended up leaving the restaurant because our boss was sexually harassing everyone, and I read Free to Be You and Me, and so it was like, no way. But my best friend who worked at the restaurant the whole time got negative paychecks where they expected her to like go to the office and give them money for her room and board. Like, it was a complete racket. And we were in East Glacier. The hotel was called Glacier Park Lodge, which is on the Blackfeet Reservation.
Okay.
So we were a bunch of white kids who came onto a reservation to take all of the very few jobs that were available for the summer.
How is that even allowed, honestly?
It's a good question.
It seems very
I'm
strange.
For sure not informed enough.
Okay, I was
on
just,
that question.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a sordid history. There were members of Blackfeet Nation who would come in and sort of do talks by the fire about the history of the culture and the language but I mean, we showed up and took all the jobs.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's not great. But
it's a bad look.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
I did, wasn't inquisitive enough to really look into that at the time.
You wouldn't even.
No, I mean, it was a good, this whole thing was a good. It was for sure my first time being a white person in a place that was not majority white, which was eye-opening and like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm learning some things that I will continue to process over many decades. But so before we got there a few days before the season started, I'm having to try not to make this the longest story in the world.
No, we're
Please.
fine.
You have plenty of time.
And I had a car, and I guess was in the minority. I thought everyone would show up with a car. Not so. And, big Jersey plates on my Saturn. And so we got there pretty quickly. My best friend decided which boy she liked. I decided which boy I liked.
Okay.
And the boy that she liked wanted to go hiking with another dude. Wanted to go hiking. It was like, hey, can we borrow your car? And my best friend Vicky was like, can you, give Jason the car? And I was like,
oh no.
And I gave him a big speech like, look, this is my car. Don't do anything stupid. No, it's great. So they took the car to go hiking. And nobody had cell phones. This was not that time in the world. So it's getting dark. I'm starting to feel weird.
Oh.
And then we see Tim, the other guy's name was Tim, runs up to me. We're all around a campfire. This is what we did, is we would hang out around a campfire, drinking underage and smoking weed until security came and said there was a bear nearby, and then we would all do it back to our cabins.
Okay.
But Tim comes running up, and I was like, don't.
Oh, no.
And he said, your car is fine. Jason's in jail. And we were like,
oh, no.
I was like, okay, well,
That's
fine.
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about? So they had gone hiking, They got hungry. I'm sure they were smoking weed.
Right.
The closest food was a Dairy Queen across the Canadian border.
Oh, my God.
They drove through Canadian border, but Jason had, I'm trying to remember, I believe he had some weed and like paraphernalia in his backpack.
Okay.
And then, so they turned him around and he had to go back through U.S. Customs. And they were training a new customs agent at U.S. Customs. And so they were like, we're going to just to train this guy, we're going to do a search. Or no. So he had a DUI at some point in the last 5 years or something. So Canada wouldn't let him in. So they turned him around.
Oh, okay.
And then Customs
so
was like,
Dairy
we're
Queen.
just going to do a little search to help this guy train. And then they found the weed and paraphernalia, impounded my car at the border for international drug trafficking, and arrested Jason.
How much pot did he have?
Not a lot.
But they
probably a little baggie or something.
Yeah.
This is the white privilege. Like, not enough to arrest you for. Like, what is the big deal? But it was
so he wasn't white.
Oh no, he was white.
Oh,
but we were all like that. That was our reaction too. We were like,
okay.
It's a little bit of weed, you guys. What is the problem?
Right.
It turns out they care actually quite a lot. So they held my car at the border. And the boys were like, you don't understand. This isn't our car. This girl's going to kill us. Like, blah, blah, blah. They eventually released my car because Tim drove it back like it was there when he gave us this news. Although for the rest of the summer, I should say this till the end, but for the rest of the summer, we went to Canada quite a bit because the closest city to us was Calgary. Like, we were really in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
And my car had a record on it. So anytime we went into Canada, they stripped it down to the metal.
Oh, my God.
Because I'm this
you were flagged.
Little Jewish New Jersey. Like, you could apply for a kind of a get into Canada quick thing if you were going back and forth a lot. And they did the interview and they were like, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And I was like, a felony? Have I? And the woman was like, have you ever been in a courtroom? And I was like, no. And she was like, then you have not been convicted. I really didn't want to lie.
So what had happened that you could confuse it with a felony?
Nothing. I never had detention.
Oh, so why
you just didn't know what a felony was?
I knew what it was. I just did not want to perjure myself.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
I never had a speeding ticket, but I was like, I'm really earnest. I want to, I really want to.
Could you spell it?
Yeah. Listen, I was smart. Ish, obviously. I did give my car to these two fucking yahoos. So anyway, I think the next day or in 2 days was our first day of work. Mm-hmm. And if Jason didn't show up to his job as a dishwasher in the Goat Lick Cafe, which was the name of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Goat Lick?
Yes, because there is a famous salt formation in Glacier National Park that the goats go and lick to get minerals.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to upsell wine in a restaurant called the Goat Lick.
I mean, they could have called it the Salt Lick, at least.
Yeah.
It's not called anything like that anymore.
Okay.
Because we go back every so often now. But so if Jason didn't show up to work, if he was still in jail, he was going to get fired and Vicky's heart would be broken. So then we embarked on a mission to bail Jason out of jail, which involved like ATMs, and we convinced the sheriff to let us write an out-of-state check. Again, here comes the, but the sheriff was like...
So he's in an American jail
he's in
or
an American
Canadian
jail, but in a rural Montana jail.
Okay.
It wasn't... It made me uncomfortable.
Okay.
But so we went to the sheriff, and it was like 4:45, and it closed at 5. And if we didn't get him that day, he wasn't going to be able to get to work. And it was like and we went to a bar to try to get them to cash a check. And we tried to go to ATM
Life
machines,
used to
but
be
it
so
didn't work.
hard.
And we did. Yeah. Tell me if you need me to stop telling this.
No,
story.
No.
We went to Sheriff Gary. And we said,
Sheriff Gary.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to write an out-of-state check. They don't let you do that. But we were adorable and we begged and pleaded. And Vicky wrote an out-of-state check knowing that the money was not. And he was like, I'm going to call the bank and make sure the money is there.
Okay.
But the bank was on the East Coast and closed by this point.
For God's sake.
Conveniently, because Vicky knew the money was not there.
Oh.
But she was like, no problem. I will call my mom and have her friend wire the money there so that it's there in the morning when he calls. And he said, I'm going to call in the morning, and if the money's not there, I'm going to come arrest you. We were like, no problem.
Oh, God.
So she wrote the check. We got Jason. We have a receipt for him. Their romance did not work out.
What? After all that?
I turns out
such a romantic story for their origin story. Once you have a
receipt for somebody, the romance is gone. Because now he owed her like $600.
Oh God. Okay.
And of course, the next morning, Vicky forgot the phone number to her mom's friend who was going to wire the money. So like we're now late for our first orientation day at the restaurant, and I had to run up there and say, "Hi, we are having a minor legal problem."
Oh my God. Why did she have to call Vicky if Vicky was already going to do it?
Vicky had to call her mom's friend to wire the money so that when Sheriff Gary called the bank, it would be there.
No, but I thought she'd already talked to her mom's friend.
Nope.
She was hoping
this was just a plan.
Why would she think her mom's friend would even do this?
She must have had a rich mom friend.
Yeah. Like I said, we weren't close at this time. Right. It wasn't how I would have maybe
she forgot
done
the
things.
phone number. Okay.
She forgot the phone number. So I had to go up and tell our bosses that we were working out a legal situation.
On day one.
On day one. And trying not to get arrested, and we would be right back. And eventually it did. She reached the friend. She wired the money. The sheriff did the thing. We got to keep Jason. We did not get arrested.
Wow.
The epilogue is, there's two, actually. So first, I liked a different guy and whatever, and we would drive to a bar, a faraway bar, because the one in the town that we were in, they weren't crazy about all the white kids who took all the jobs, and fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we would drive.
We're like, can't go to that bar.
No,
nobody likes us there.
Don't go to that bar. I get it.
Yeah.
On the way back from the bar that we would drive to, the boy that I liked, the person who was driving, his car, which was his dad's car, a Delta 88, hit a bear.
Whoa.
And we all stopped. So we're all a bunch of drunk white teenagers tootling around in the middle of the Blackfeet Reservation with an angry bear in the immediate vicinity.
No.
And Sheriff Gary shows up and was like, Rebecca, what are you doing here?
Oh, God.
No.
So that happened. It was very romantic. The boy ended up like kissing me in the headlights of his father's destroyed car.
Oh.
It was a real moment.
Where was the bear? Where was the bear?
The raging bear behind you.
I don't know. The bear was probably like cute. Good for you guys.
I won't eat them today.
Yeah. Again, I just want to clarify, I don't feel proud of any of this. So I'm just going to say that throughout.
Okay.
If we were on video, we would run a tire on. Rebecca recognizes that all of this is terrible. And she has reflected on it a great deal and will continue to do so.
Well, you
until
didn't
she
do
dies.
anything wrong.
Well.
Oh, wait, we're not done.
I didn't do anything. Okay. So fast forward again. My dad comes to visit me later in the summer. We decide to take a horseback ride on one of my days off. And the guide is Sheriff Gary. And I'm like, Sheriff Gary. And he's like, Rebecca. And my dad goes, Sheriff Gary? Why are you guys on a first name basis? And Sheriff Gary, bless him, said, oh, she never did anything. She's just always there. Which might go on my tombstone.
Wow.
That is amazing.
I love him. I love Sheriff Gary.
I think he'd seen a lot.
Yeah.
I think he'd seen a lot.
Yeah. This was old hat for Sheriff Gary.
Brand new kids showed up there to do God knows what.
Oh, yeah. Every year, probably, right?
Every year, yeah.
New batch of kids.
When we went back, the last time we were there was 2015, and we went and had dinner at the restaurant that's no longer called the Goatlet Cafe. Mm-hmm. And our server, we were like, so what do the kids do? Like, we used to work here. Mm-hmm. Where's the party? Like, blah, blah, blah. And our server went, do you guys do meth?
Whoa!
And we were like, immediately, moms, we were like, no, and shame on you, and you're risking your life, and it's very dangerous, and you should only try things that come out of the ground. And we turned into,
oh my God,
lecturing aunts immediately and, marched back to our rooms. And we're like, these kids, these things are just they're in trouble. And it's not like when we were young.
That's amazing.
But then you went down and you tried it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. With the bear. With Cocaine Bear. It all
Best map.
This whole thing is me promoting
Cocaine Bear.
She also is in Cocaine Bear. Go out and see it.
You're not really in Cocaine Bear,
No,
are you?
I'm sure.
That would have
not.
been really, really
I would have
cool.
cried the whole time. I have a problem with animals in peril. And
I know. But I am definitely going to see Cocaine Bear.
I totally want to see. I think they're all CGI animals.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Are they?
I don't think they're using a real bear.
They're not going to let Margot Martindale act with a real bear.
No, they wouldn't put her in peril.
She's a national treasure. Exactly.
Did you see Sheriff Gary when you went back? Did you see him?
No, we didn't go looking. I hope
you don't want to run into him.
I don't. I think it's for the best that we leave that behind.
Okay. Close that chapter.
Yeah, but I do still. I have receipts for a couple guys. There was another guy who got thrown in jail, and by that time we were over it. We were like, hello, I'm here for Dylan. Like, here you go.
Wow.
Well, Rebecca, thank you that was an amazing, layered story.
Twist and turns. Surprises.
Sheriff Gary.
I'm not sure I've taught anyone how to survive something, though, again, except to not be there and be a cute white kid.
I mean,
right. And don't be the one with the pot.
Don't be the one with the pot.
Don't drive across national borders.
If you're going to cross an international border, make sure you don't accidentally have any drugs.
Yeah, ding dongs.
Seems like common sense.
Right?
And definitely not on a training day.
Right. No. Not when they're training a new dude.
No,
think about it.
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
This is so funny.
Jason in jail. I wonder if he has a record.
Do you know his whole name? Do you know his last name? Could you look him up?
I'm sure Vicky remembers it. He had glasses and he was the dishwasher in the restaurant.
Thank you.
Wasn't the making of a long-term relationship.
No. But what about you and Smashed Car?
Jamie?
Yeah.
Oh, that kid. No. That wasn't really going anywhere.
No.
No.
Just a nice kiss.
That was a distraction from Jason's roommate, who I loved.
Oh.
Whose name was Jamie, who I follow on Instagram.
Oh, still?
Yeah, he follows me back. We're like pals.
Relationships formed under threat of bear rarely.
Yeah.
last.
It's a stressful situation.
It is a stressful situation.
Well, thank you again so much for being here. And
thank you for letting me. This story has been living inside me for decades.
It's a fantastic. It should be filmed.
Yeah, I agree. We thought about it.
It really feels like an 80s action
It does.
comedy.
Yeah.
It feels not believable. I swear it's all true, and there are police records somewhere to
And
prove
receipts, apparently.
And receipts.
And we will be right back after this with What Did We Learn Today?
Make this new school year an opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills with Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely while parents keep an eye on kids' money habits. Greenlight also helps families get into their fall routine with a chores feature that lets parents assign chores and pay kids allowance when they check them off. Get your first month free at greenlight.com/Wondery. Greenlight.com/Wondery.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Kristine, are you ready to learn what we learned today?
Yes.
Get yourself a sweater from fashion icon, designer, and newsman, Ted Baxter. I can't do it. That was my tenor. Save Me is stimulate, airway, ventilate, evaluate, muscular injection, and evaluate again.
Lots of evaluating happening.
Yes. Injecting into the muscle of the upper thigh or upper arm with a syringe is a very common way to administer naloxone. Many naloxone kits come with a syringe and a vial or a pre-filled cartridge of naloxone. The shot can be administered through clothes.
Oh,
that's amazing. Suspect alcohol poisoning? Get help immediately. Don't let boys borrow your car. Well,
this has been a really fun episode.
It has.
I hope you're all enjoying it. Thank you to everyone who's joined the Patreon.
Yes.
And I hope you're having fun with that.
Yes, we're very grateful.
If you're not already there, you can go check out the page and join it if you like, or not join it if you don't like. We're going to be doing some giveaways soon.
Yeah.
To our new Patreon members, so that'll be announced.
And we've already heard from some of you that you're really enjoying the extra material. So
thanks for that.
Thank you.
And until next time,
remain calm.